A common question I get asked is, what are some of Juri's best space traps? Space trap is, on offense, a sequence that when used pushes you out of your opponent's retaliation. Your opponent thinks that they're safe to press a button, but it leaves them open for a big punish opportunity. This post from RiverMaximum on X got my attention. This clip shows two situations. Juri does standing medium punch, crouching medium kick into light fuha. On the first attempt, we see that the light fuha works, but on the second attempt, the light fuha whiffs, and this is what I'm used to seeing. So I tried to do it myself, and I noticed that there's something interesting that's going on here. It doesn't work. But clearly, we see the tech working in the video, and truth be told, I can make it work. Because when it works, we notice we get pushed all the way out, and it creates this really nice space trap. And when you realize the secret behind why this tech works, you're going to understand how deep Juri is. I'll explain, and then I'm going to show you some ways to use this so that you can fool your opponent and win more games. So to explain how this works, we're first going to go into the start menu, and we're going to go over to the frame meter. When we cancel crouching medium kick to light fuha, we usually cancel on the first possible active frame. Instead, we want to cancel on the second or third active frame. This will allow us to be just a little bit closer, and the light fuha will connect. Let's take a step back and explain what an active frame is. Every move has three stages: the startup, the active, and the recovery stage. Startup is the amount of frames that must pass before the move becomes active. 7 frames pass, and on the 8th frames, now it's active. The active frames are the only frames that can interact with your opponent. So after the startup frames, then the move becomes active for 3 frames. After the active frames, a move goes into recovery. The recovery frames are the amount of frames that have to pass by before you can take action again. There are exceptions like chains, where it cancels the startup of the next attack and goes straight to the active frames. Or Juri's Feng Shui engine, which gets rid of the recovery of the attacks and goes straight to the startup of the next attack. The startup frames are the green. The active frames are the magenta or red or purple, depending on how you see color. I get it. It's not purple, but it's also not red. It's more of a magenta. And look, magenta is a purplish red color. Back off. I'm an artist. By default, I know color. And the recovery frames are the blue frames on the bottom. So when we cancel from crouching medium kick to light fuha, we notice we have one active frame on the bottom here, and it's canceled to the startup of the light fuha. This is what you call a special cancel. 99.9% of the special cancels that we do in this game will be on the first frame. But if we do it on the first active frame, the light fuha will whiff. But if we do standing medium punch, crouching, and medium kick and delay the cancel, we notice that it connects. So we know how it works, but why does it work? Without going too deep into every button, depending on what button you cancel from will determine if you're closer or further away. If you want to space yourself out, you cancel from crouching medium punch. Look how far away she is. If you want to be closer, cancel the crouching medium kick. Check the distance. We see the differences in cancels. They all give a different spacing. Medium kick is easy to see because she rocks forward. Light fuha doesn't move her at all. But when she rocks forward, she cancels and it pushes her forward. It's because her body moves forward when she does the attack. And before she can come back to her original position, she cancels to fuha. So delaying your cancel allows her to rock forward as much as possible, which allows this to connect. And standing medium punch, crouching medium kick allows her to be at the maximum range that you can be for the fuha to connect. This is a hard tech to do. And you might be asking, what's the benefit of this? Juri's medium fuha is -6 on block. And for most of the casts at this range, it's pretty safe. Aki's standing medium punch is 6 frames, and she's one of the casts that if you space it incorrectly, she can easily punish this. You might say, well, that's your fault for not spacing it right. This is a popular string, and the medium punch whiffs. But if Aki is standing, your medium fuha will also whiff. In this case, you can't use light fuha because that whiffs. Even on a string like this, medium fuha will whiff. Basically, people are allowed to walk backwards on this pressure and then whiff punish as we whiff. But if we were to hit crouching medium kick, they can't walk backwards. But if we go to light fuha, we notice it whiffs. Medium fuha will work. But if they block the crouching medium kick, we are punishable. This is where the RiverMaximum tech comes in. Gone are days of Aki being able to walk outside of range and punish us, and we can now convert. If they don't block low, they get hit. But more importantly, if they block low, we get pushed out, which opens up a space trap. This is strong because it allows us to take a turn back in times where people feel safe to take their turn. Because even if Juri wanted to take her turn back, the defender can strike first and take their turn. But now, if they try to take their turn back, they whiff and they're punishable. I tried this setup on the whole cast. And I tried to think about every situation where a person would want to hit a retaliation button and what button that they would want to hit. Crouching medium kicks in this game tend to linger a bit, so they're easier to whiff punish. And characters that want to use a medium punch to retaliate, they were a little bit harder to whiff punish. But there was 3 notable characters that this did not work on. Blanca, Zangief, and Dalsim. Maybe I'm missing a few here and there. Let me know in the comment section if you have different results. Let's look at some practical situations that you might see in your games. This situation starts off at 88%. We get the knockdown and we go in for this space trap. We punish it with something pretty standard. We go in for our standard bread and butter and we kill Terry in this situation. A popular shimmy is the drive rush medium punch and back away from the throw attempt. Here we can go for a throw, or we can go for shimmy and then throw back. This is nice because if they walk out of it, we can still throw and get the punish counter. But what happens if they don't take the bait? This is a time where we can utilize light fuha to force a space trap. If there's ever a time where you're close enough to hit the medium punch and the crouching medium kick, this setup will always work. Juri's throw loop is really strong in the corner. If they press a button, they'll still get thrown. If they tech, well, we'll just tech the throw. But if they go for a tech, they're susceptible to a strike. That's why you see a lot of people opt to use reversals here. And that's why I advocate for sometimes delay and then throw. And if you speed it up, it looks like this. So if you sniff a reversal, you can always do this. Even though I blocked, I still did the throw input on the left. And that's because if they go for a throw, I'll still tech. To beat a reversal, you can also do a delay button. And this is one of the times that you can cover multiple options and still get the space trap. If they go for the DP, you block. And then they're wide open for a counterattack. But if they block, they're still susceptible to that space trap. If you find that a person is delay teching, you're finding that they're not falling for shimmy, and you want to stagger your offense like this, but let's say they're not biting. This is a time where you can step back in, reset the situation, and delay your medium kick into fuha and make their attack whiff. Let's talk Feng Shui Engine. A common string in Feng Shui Engine is crouching medium kick, standing medium punch. Standing medium punch is plus on block, and light kick actually creates a nice frame trap here. But sometimes, they still don't take the bait to press a button there. Where people want to block a lot, I treat it like knocking on a door. How many times can I knock before they start pressing a button? Can I walk up to them and do it twice before they hit a button? If I feel like they want to block it out, I'll start throwing. And when I think they're getting antsy, that's when I'll use the light kick to beat out their next attack. And if I do the light fuha in this situation here, it whiffs. But with this new delay cancel, we can make it connect, causing their counterattack to whiff. In Feng Shui Engine, we could force JP to block, and then guess when he wants to press a button for retaliation. And if we can make him whiff, he's going to take a lot of damage for his mistake. This is a nice Feng Shui Engine option select. The fireball will cover options like strikes or throws. And since you're doing a dash into parry drive rush, if your opponent tries to do a super, the screen freeze will make it so that your parry doesn't come out. But if there's not a screen freeze, your parry will come out and you'll parry the reversal. But if they do nothing, you get the parry and then the drive rush, which allows you to go in for more attacks. The fireball into drive rush jab is a block string. And since the drive rush jab is plus on block, you can continue with your offense. You can use this situation to layer your offense and take away defensive options so that they're more likely to try to block. Eventually, they're going to want to do something, and we could force them to make the wrong choice. While we're on the topic of Jamie, this is a common thing that Jamie players will do. Since this button is 5 frames, they'll stand block and make our Fuhajin whiff. Same thing goes if we try to use medium Fuhajin. They interrupt. And since Juri can't do 3 light attacks, they also will spam it here. But his heavy punch, even though fast, still takes time to travel to us, and we can use that to our advantage to stuff out his next attack. Because of proximity block, we can't walk out of range of this, but we are able to backdash. We only have 7 frames, so none of our attacks will reach from this range. But on whiff, Jamie is -7. And during the backdash, if we see that he does it, we can immediately go into our level 1 and punish it. In this case here, as a punish, we use Drive Impact. Akuma uses 2 bars, and then we use Drive Impact to take more drive gauge away from them. Feng Shui Engine Dash is a super, so it takes away more drive gauge away from them. Comboing into Drive Impact, we take more drive gauge away from them. After stripping away Akuma's last drive gauge, we can set up a space trap to make him press a button. When he presses, we whiff punish, and we kill him for it. These are just some quick practical ways I think that we can use this tech. If you find that your opponent is pressing buttons in this way, we have something to deal with it. That fear will let you bully them more. After you bully, you'll be able to force more mistakes and close out more games. If you like this kind of video, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Make sure you follow RiverMaximum on X, and you can also find a link to their YouTube channel in the description above. And if you're interested in more about space traps, I have a video on this giving the basics of what a space trap is and how they work. Thank you for watching. Make sure to hug your loved ones, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.